Ben got that Vince Vaughn body.
He got the body. He got the body like Mr.
For yet another fight, Jake Paul secured himself a knockout against a former professional athlete who claimed that he would wipe the floor with the YouTube personality turned boxer. Paul knocked out former UFC fighter Ben Askren in the first round of their pseudo-celebrity bout, but the much-hyped fight between Paul and Askren didn't even last long. Of course, if there's anyone who's used to the kind of humiliation that comes with many on Twitter laughing at a result that went against them, it's Askren. Why? Then you have to watch the video until the very end to know why people think Ben Askren threw the fight with Jake Paul. Before we get into it, thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. That way you'll never miss a future update from us. The fight. Jake Paul still hasn't fought a professional boxer in his short boxing career, but he now owns a knockout victory over a professional fighter. Paul had only previously fought fellow YouTuber Addison Gibb and former NBA player Nate Robinson. Paul scored a first-round TKO over former UFC fighter Ben Askren in their main event clash from inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and it didn't go well for Askren or fans hoping for a prolonged and competitive fight. The social media superstar knocked his opponent down with a pretty good right hand less than 2 minutes into the first round of the 8-round boxing bout that created headlines right after. Askren stumbled back to his feet and was seen being checked over by the referee before it was determined he could no longer continue. An emotional Ben Askren wanted to continue fighting. However, the referee waved it off, citing the reason that Askren was still wobbly on his feet. Askren fell to his knees in disbelief and even started doing push-ups to show that he could keep going. Former UFC man Askren was widely expected to pull off a routine win over Paul, who only turned professional following the surge in popularity of YouTube boxing. It can be remembered that the 36-year-old fighter was on the receiving end of the fastest knockout in UFC history back in July 2019 when Jorge Masvidal took him out within seconds of the opening bell with a flying knee to the head. If there's any conclusion, it's the fact that some of the heat online may have come off Askren in favor of viewer frustration towards how long the wait was for a very short fight. Some even went as far as to say it was rigged. Post-fight. The reaction of Ben Askren following his humiliating first-round knockout by YouTuber Jake Paul has sparked conspiracy theories. Paul roared with emotion in the immediate aftermath, though it was the reaction of Askren which caught the attention of viewers. The veteran was seen smiling and laughing with his wife after immediately leaving the ring. Askren's demeanor soon got people talking, with fans and fellow pros all weighing in with their takes on the showdown. Many critics branded the boxing match between social media superstar and former UFC fighter as a farce from the outset, suggesting that both had no business in a professional boxing ring. However, that controversy has continued to swirl on social media, with some branding the fight as fixed. This was not just the view of fans watching from home either, as several professional fighters have shared the same opinion. UFC welterweight contender Colby Covington was not shy of expressing his views on the fight, as he tweeted, "Snake Paul vs. Askren was a work." In other words, fixed. The fight itself was brought to a stop in the first round after Paul sent Askren to the canvas with a big punch. Despite a heavy fall, Askren did manage to get back to his feet. However, after examining Askren for several seconds, the referee deemed that the 36-year-old was in no condition to continue and halted the contest. It looked like the right call, as Askren appeared to be on very unsteady legs. With that said, it did take the referee an unusually long time to make the decision to stop the fight. The reigning UFC bantamweight champion, Aljamain Sterling, felt this was suspicious, asking his followers who paid the ref. Claims over the result not being legitimate increased when Askren was shown walking to the locker room alongside his family with a wide grin on his face. Some felt that this was further evidence that not all was as it seemed with the bout. One user posted a clip of the footage, together with the caption, "Ben Askren celebrating with his family after he just got knocked out." Another remarked, "This is the happiest any fighter has ever looked after losing. Congrats on securing the bag." And "he was definitely faking that shit," insisted a third comment. Askren was officially paid $500,000 for what turned out to be less than 2 minutes of work. However, when you add in sponsorships and incentives, he will likely pocket far more. Only Askren will know for sure why he was smiling. Zoomed in, slow-motion footage of the final punch, though, does not suggest that Askren took a dive. The right hand that Paul landed to floor his opponent was pretty solid, and Askren teetered around the ring afterwards as though he had just taken a serious shot. Whenever these so-called celebrity fights are made, conspiracy theories tend not to be far behind. That fight, however, it was Paul's power that closed the show, and not a predetermined script. "I'm a dumbass," Ben Askren said. It appears Ben Askren is taking his loss to Jake Paul in stride. For starters, the former Bellator and One Championship title holder said he stayed off social media after the fight to avoid the plethora of negative noise in response to his first-round TKO loss to the YouTuber star and the headliner of the Triller Fight Club event. Askren's attitude, however, isn't necessarily an indication that he doesn't care. The 36-year-old Askren, who came out of retirement and off hip replacement surgery to fight Paul, is definitely upset at himself, and he wants people to know that he didn't take his boxing debut lightly. I'm disappointed. I saw people didn't think I took it seriously. And here's the thing, when I took the fight, I said, 1, for the money, 2, I think this could be a good thing, Askren said on the Louder with Crowder podcast. I used to box with my friends in high school just for fun, and I trained hard for 11 weeks. I didn't miss a practice, and it just didn't go my way. The thing that really seems to bother Askren is the thought that the finish could have been avoided if he had listened to the advice from cornermen Tyrone Woodley and Mike Rhodes as the fight unfolded. We knew he had a good overhand right, and I'm a dumbass, and I didn't block it, Askren said. My defense was a little too loose. I heard my coaches, both Tyrone and Biggie, were saying stop reacting to his fakes, and I didn't, and I paid the price. Suffice to say, a devastating knockout just 1 minute and 59 seconds into the fight was about as bad of an outcome as Askren could have suffered after pre-fight trash talk of how easy it would be to beat up a YouTuber with just 2 professional bouts against non-fighters. Askren still stands by his decision to fight in the first place. I think one of the things that really separates me from a lot of people is, I could have very easily sat on my couch and said, I don't want to do that because there's a potential I'll be embarrassed, Askren said. That would be the only reason why I wouldn't have done it. There's no other valid reason. And I said I'm going to do it, so f*** it, and I did it. So what are your thoughts and opinions on the Jake Paul-Ben Askren fight? Sound off in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. That way you never miss out on future updates. Until next time.